Today I wanted to talk to you guys about how to prepare for the HESI A2 exam. So I'm going to cover a couple of different aspects of this. So first of all, I'm going to talk about some tips that I have for people who may not want to buy a full course. Maybe you don't have the budget for it, or maybe you're just not interested in that. Secondly, I'm going to give some recommendations if you are looking for a study course that will kind of just lay everything out for you, give you exactly what you need to study and get ready for the HESI A2 exam. So first, let's talk about if you're going to take the self-study approach. I have personally done both study methods to prepare for nursing entrance exams. When I self-studied, I felt just as prepared as I did when I used already ready for you, fully laid out prep course. But the main difference was that I had a lot more work for myself up front. I had to create my own flashcards. I checked out books from the library. I had to do more work to look up what exactly I needed to know. And so it took a little bit more work on my part. But if you're willing to put in that work, it's totally doable. You won't have to pay as much money, of course, because you won't have to purchase a course. And most resources you can actually find for free online if you're willing to put in a little bit of extra work to search for things. So here are my main recommendations if you're going to be doing the self-study route. First of all, you're going to want a way to memorize facts. And in my opinion, flashcards are a great way to do that. You can either do, old school note cards, just write down what you need to know. And then on the back side of it, the definition. So for example, with math, if you're trying to learn and memorize the order of operations, on the front, you'd write order of operations. On the back side, you would write out the definition of the order of operations and in which order you do, the parentheses, exponents, multiplication, and so on. You could do that paper method, or my favorite is to do it electronically on my computer. And my very, very favorite flashcard app, which I used when I was studying for the TEAS exam, and it could work for any nursing entrance exam, is called Anki. Now, the reason I just love Anki is that it uses what is called spaced repetition. And basically, it's an algorithm that's already written into this app. You don't have to worry about it at all. But you create your flashcards, and then when you start to study, you'll select how many flashcards you want to study every day. You'll put that in on the app. So for example, you might say 20 new flashcards per day. So every day you'll get 20 new flashcards to study. And when you study your flashcard, at the bottom, there's going to be several different options. You can select whether it was hard for you, whether it was easy for you, etc. You'll see on the bar on the bottom several different options based on how hard it was or how easy it was for you to remember the flashcard. If you select that it was hard for you, you're going to get that flashcard reviewed more frequently. If you select that it was easy for you, that flashcard will be reviewed less frequently. And it just makes sense, of course. You don't want to waste your time studying things that you already know. You want to spend your time studying the things that you don't know to prepare better for the exam. So the spaced repetition has been shown to be extremely effective to learn whatever you want to learn using flashcards. And in fact, I've even been using it to learn a new language, and it has been wonderful. It really is a great way to study. When I was preparing, I just chose especially math concepts I knew I needed to review, and then I also needed to review a lot of science concepts. Those were the two things that I was weakest on, so I created a lot of flashcards on that. For you, it might be something different. You'll want to look through the different breakdowns of what is on the test and what you specifically are weakest in, because those are the things that you'll want to spend more time studying. Now, the second thing that I would recommend is to use your local public library to check out some books that are study books for the nursing entrance exam that you're preparing for. And of course, another option is that if you don't want or can't find it at your local public library, you could go to Amazon and just purchase a book. Most of the books are pretty reasonably priced. They're usually in the $20 to $40 range. These test books are extremely helpful because they usually will break down all of the sections that are on the exam. They'll usually break down every single type of question that you'll see on the exam that you're going to take. And a lot of times they also have helpful practice problems that can help you to see, which areas are you strong on, which areas are you weak on. When I self-studied, I used a book. At the time I used Mometrics especially, but I also checked out, I think it was maybe a McGraw-Hill book from the library. I got 2 or 3 books that were all specifically on how to study for the nursing entrance exam. And so I just worked through those books. It helped me to do some practice problems, but it also especially helped me to see what are the areas that I especially need to focus my studies on. And then if I needed to make flashcards, I could make some more flashcards using the book and seeing what it was that I was weakest on. I would say make a lot of flashcards, use the books to study. And then thirdly, there are a lot of YouTube videos that have practice exams for the nursing entrance exams that you're taking. So I would just search on YouTube and say, okay, I want to do a HESI A2 reading comprehension exam. And there usually are several great options where you can just use the resources there. And then finally, if you just use a Google search, you can also find usually quite a few practice exams that are free online. And I usually like to stick with ones that were actually from a testing publisher like Mometrics or Union Test Prep usually has free exams that you can take. I did a few other ones, but those were my favorite because they seemed like they really were true to the actual test. The problems were similar to what you would actually see on the exam. So you do want to make sure that it's a really reputable website that you're finding these. So those would be my main tips if you're planning to do a self-study course for preparing for a nursing entrance exam. Now, if you do have the budget to purchase an online prep course, I also do highly recommend that. The main reasons that I do recommend it is that if you need to prepare very, very quickly for an exam, that's definitely the way to go in my opinion. When I was preparing for the HESI A2 exam, I was able to prepare for the exam in only 3 weeks, and I felt totally prepared for it, and I also passed over 90% on the exam. It was definitely effective for me, worked very well. And another perk is that you also don't need to spend quite as much time preparing your own study resources. So on online courses, you have everything already there for you. All of the study materials, the flashcards, videos, practice tests, practice problems, really everything that you need is all right there. Super, super convenient. So it also is a time saver as well. In my opinion, what you're paying for is what you're getting. If you are going for an online course, my top recommendation would be to choose Mometrics' online prep course. I've used it personally and it's just an excellent resource. If you go through their online course and you work through the materials, it will really prepare you and teach you what you need to know for the exam. They have everything from video lessons to written lessons that you can read to flashcards, many practice exams. If you have a specific type of problem that you want to practice, you can go to that specific topic and find practice problems for that specific topic. So there's just many, many different resources there that are so helpful. That would be my top recommendation if you're looking for a really great online prep course to get ready for your nursing entrance exams. So I'll be linking all the things that I talked about down below. So if you're interested in anything that I mentioned, just go down below in the description and you'll find links for all of the different resources that I talked about today. If you have any other questions, also you can go ahead and drop a comment below. Let me know what test you're getting ready for and what are the specific things that you've been studying lately, any questions that you may have. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Go ahead and like this video, and you can also subscribe to this channel for more videos and resources on how to prepare for your nursing entrance exams and how to get into the nursing school of your choice.